I know.
The pace to put you on track. You need to do a little more than that. So if you do a little more than that, and then you find out 2 or 3 months beforehand that you're really close,
yeah,
you know, you just go for it. So
that's so true.
yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Congratulations to all of our All-Stars and to our Princess Court. I'm going to share my screen. Also, I might take a second too, because it looks like it didn't start recording on Facebook. So I'm going to definitely at least do that before Pat starts. But I'm going to show you guys really quick the prizes. So these are the All-Star prizes for next year. Jody's eyes just got really big.
Wow.
Jody's like, yes.
Yeah, these guys are big. Yes.
But these are super cute. So these are going to be Ted Baker. So the wallet that was just shown by Robin was also Ted Baker. The company, I feel like they switch off a lot between Kate Spade, Ted Baker, all the cutest brands, right? So of course, depending on your level, there's sapphire, diamond, emerald, pearl, and ruby. So super, super cute. And once again, these are the all-star prizes. So hitting star every single quarter sets you up perfectly to get an extra prize. And of course, you also get prizes throughout the quarters, which are awesome. So those are gorgeous. So congratulations, congratulations. Okay, the next thing we're going to recognize is sharing, and I'm very, very excited for this person. So I'm going to announce our queen, because one of the things that as a unit, we've been really good at sharing the opportunity. We've been really great about like inviting people to learn more, joining the company. But one of the things that we've been having a hard time with, and I was talking to Mom about this too, is just getting people qualified and getting them going, getting them like excited, selling, that kind of thing. So I'm super, super, super proud, first of all, before we announce who our queen is, of Debbie. I'm super, super proud of Debbie, because we just started our new consultant program, like with getting new consultants launched, getting them started. And Debbie is this close to finishing the entire challenge. She had her launch last night.
Hey.
It was really, really awesome. Can I hear just super, super quick from you guys, just like words on how it went? I'd love to hear from you guys. Disappointments, great things, successes, anything.
I think it was a great success, a lot of fun. I can see why Debbie wanted these women in her life, because they were just a lot of fun. I'm sure Kara heard a few things going, oh.
It was fun.
But we had a blast, and they were so supportive of her. I mean, they just were very interested in what she's doing. They were very supportive of her as a woman. So I was proud to see that they were there for her and just supporting her in that way.
Yes. And how did you feel about it, Debbie? Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I absolutely did. I knew these girls would have my back, and they would be there to support me, and they enjoyed meeting everybody, and they enjoyed the whole process, and they felt like they learned a lot, and that was important to them. And yeah, because they had never done anything like this before. I'm sorry?
How many people did you have?
Just 2.
Wow, awesome.
But they loved like hearing about all the products. They loved hearing about like, and I also, do you guys want to say the compliment that we got from, I think it was Pam at the end, about she'd never been to a Mary Kay event?
Yeah, and she never been to a Mary Kay event, and she lives and grew up in Dallas.
Wow.
No, she
lives in Dallas, never mind, but she lives in Dallas, and I'm like,
Wow.
boy, somebody missed the mark on you, girl.
Right.
I got her now.
She's got her
mine.
now. How long
Exactly.
has she been in Dallas?
Oh, she's been back there now about 5 years. She was in Miami before, and then she grew up in Southern California.
And she had the nicest things to say too. She just said that she really loved it, that she thought that you guys did a great job with like explaining the products, with like, she just felt like she learned a ton, which I thought was a great compliment.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So congratulations to Debbie. And like I said, Debbie is like so close.
What I have to get to?
So next, the last step you got to do is place your initial order. We'll get you qualified. And then you'll be done with like the 3-step training program. And then we'll do the post-challenge challenge. Which will be fun. You're like, all right, let's do it.
My work.
So congratulations to Debbie on that. But like I said, we've been, technically the court of sharing is based on the qualifications that the company sets, right? So in order to get a new consultant qualified, what does that mean? How long do we have to get them qualified?
3
Yes,
4 months.
Jody knows, 4 months, right? And then what does their entire like order? Does it have to be one order? Can it be multiple orders? And what does it have to add up to?
Multiple orders up to 600.
Killing it.
More, of course.
Good job. Perfect. So it can be multiple orders. It does not have to be just their first order, but it has to be multiple orders that add up to 600. Or of course their initial order could be 1,800, 2,400, it doesn't matter. But as long as it's 600 or more, then they qualify. So our queen had the most qualified, and then we are going to get her a court next year because she may be our queen next year, because I have a feeling that she's probably going to, because she's answering all my questions. Jody, come up here. Jody is our queen. And I think that this is very, very applicable because she is also our newest brand new red jacket. I told you you had to come tonight.
Jeez Louise, I thought we just had some candy for her.
Right.
Can you get us through the hairspray?
Does that feel okay? Yeah. Okay, so Jody, open that.
Open this.
Open it.
She was proud of her shopping.
Just please open that.
I'll even give you your backpack. I miss seeing all you ladies, by the way.
We miss you too, Jody.
Is this?
Oh, look at Angela has her clapper.
Oh, yay!
I was gonna bring those to you.
Earrings.
Oh, Kitty.
Awesome.
You're gonna
I
look
was
awesome.
honestly gonna buy one. I mean,
You
not
were?
that I had the bee on it, mind you, so of course that
It
makes
has to have a
better.
beat for sharing, right?
Yeah.
Has to.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Thank you so much.
Yes. And Jody, I want to hear a little bit from you about just like why you team build. Like, what's your motivation behind it? Because I know you're really, really good at just talking to women about the business. So what's like your motivation behind it?
Ultimately, I think it would be, I think we use this word too much, but it's the God's honest truth, is empowering other women, not have to rely on their husbands or boyfriend or 9-to-5 job or anything like that. And I think that's the funnest part.
Yeah.
You know.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of it. And like I said, Jody was like, I know all the qualifications for getting here. Like, I know how this goes. And like I said, I have a feeling you may or may not be our queen next year. We'll see, because Jody has a lot of goals about building her team. So congratulations,
Thank
Jody.
you. Here, and I'll give you a baby.
Oh, no, you can keep it.
Are you sure?
Yes, please keep it.
All right.
Yes, please, please.
Thank you, honey.
You are so welcome. Okay, yay. All right, guys, we're going to go now to our court of sales. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to go number 5 first, and then we'll end with our queen. I also want to say that a few of these girls are out of town. Of course, they're on Zoom, and your prices are coming to you. I don't know what the deal with the post office is. I've seen like so many packages recently. I don't know if you guys have had this problem, but like they're just not getting there. So for 2 of you who are out of town, I promise they're coming. If you are at the studio and you open your gift, if you show it to them, it might be spoiled, but you know, that might be how it goes. But our number 5 is somebody who I admire a lot for the way that she runs her business. This person is incredibly talented at not just Mary Kay, but at lots and lots and lots and lots of things. And she's also achieved like a lot of incredible things in her business. She's been a 4-quarter all-star. She's been in Princess Court. And she's also just like an amazing person. She has an incredible team. She's awesome. And she is on Zoom, and that is Miss Angela Reed.
Gosh. Great, Angela.
Oh, Jody, sorry, I forgot to give you your certificate. This is going to Jody. I am so sorry. There's just more stuff for you. So this is for Angela.
Oh,
Congratulations, Angela. And then this lovely gift will be waiting for you. I'll have it here for those of you, because I'm sure, Angela, you're going to attend seminar at the studio probably, right?
Yeah, oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes, and actually, ladies, I think we should take a limo to the studio. I've already company to contact. Let's do
whoa.
Oh, she got his under.
Wow.
Which sounds like so much fun, taking a bike, right? You got to go classy, right?
Oh yeah.
So
We're
this will be waiting
bit.
for you when you're here. So congratulations, Angela, at being number 5 in the Court of Sales. Round of applause. Okay, our number 4 is somebody who I also admire a lot. Number 4 is somebody who tends to like say one thing and just make me laugh. Like, I don't know why, but she's just like really, really funny. And I love her style. I love the way that she runs her business. She is very, very, like, she just has an incredible set of values, and she's always participating in everything that we do, which I super admire, especially because she's not here. So that can sometimes be a hard thing to do. So number four is the lady who has the fancy hair, and that's Miss Joyce Liska.
Hey,
Oh.
Hey, Joyce.
Hey, Joy.
Congratulations, Joyce. And like I said, your prize is coming. I'm sorry it's not there yet, because I even put a little sign on there, like, don't open it until it's there, but like, until awards, but you couldn't even open it before awards. So congratulations to Joyce. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
This is your
Okay.
best year ever.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
year ever for Joyce. Way to go. Wow, I'm so proud.
Best year ever. Mom's got a sign for everything. She's like, way to go. Best year ever. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Our number 3 is also somebody who is out of town who will be receiving her gift very, very soon. Number 3 is somebody who's been through a lot of different things. She has had a lot of different changes in her life this year, not just because of COVID, but because of other things as well. And yet she still runs her business. She still has an incredible customer base. She still shares opportunities. She still is running her business with excellence. And that is Mary Saviola.
Oh, wow. Mary.
Hey, Mary. Mary's number 3. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I like it. It's a big deal.
Congratulations, Mary. We're so excited for you. Now we are in our top 2. Our top 2, you can probably imagine who they might be based on who was in Princess Court, right? So now it's just a determination of who's 1 and who's 2. So we had 2 Princess Court winners, of course. That's Susan Howard and that's Bridget Gray. Yes, they're also our camp leaders. They're also our all-stars. You're probably seeing a theme that they're also like everything. So let's see. Our number 2. Man, I don't know. I know. I'm like, I have to pick my words with like. I have to be careful with what I say. Okay, our number 2. Oh man, I don't know how to say it and not give it away. I'll just give it away. Our number 2 is somebody who just finished Princess Court for the first time ever.
Hey, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget.
Bridget, she's waving to everybody.
Hey, I can't do it like Catherine. So.
Okay, Catherine does have skills. She's got skills with that wave. Congratulations, Bridget. And I would also like to say that it was close between number 2 and number 1. So this is your gift. If you'd like to open it, feel free. This is your little certificate. Congratulations.
Another certificate.
Congratulations. So you've got our runner-up title, which is incredible.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. You want to go ahead and open it?
I do. Sorry,
Perfect.
Susan.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Angela. Let me show
Enjoy your time in the spotlight. Take your time.
Seriously.
Open it slow.
You.
Is that what everybody got though?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not going to show you guys. Wait till you open your own.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
that's good.
just kidding. It's
Oh.
gorgeous.
Thought you were.
Show us.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Look at the, oh, it's just gorgeous.
And
Okay.
these
that's
fold
really
down.
Oh,
proud.
Bridget.
Yeah, it might be a little bit. There we go.
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
Oh.
Okay,
I
let's see if
thought
I
the
can get it.
oh, it's backwards a little bit.
turn it around. Yes.
It's rose gold and black.
Oh, wow.
And they dangle.
Oh my goodness, that's so
Okay.
I thought that it looked like the Mary Kay rose. That's why.
Yeah.
It does.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yay.
Now I've changed my outfit for seminar. I think I have to wear this.
I'm gonna have to wear this. And then that means that leaves our last Princess Court achiever, which is Susan. Congratulations, Susan. You've got a crown waiting for you.
Oh,
You can
my
wear
God.
this when you come to the studio for seminar. You've got your beautiful sash. You've got your beautiful rose necklace. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. It's
Oh.
awesome, yes.
And
Beautiful
Susan, since
Susan.
you are our queen of sales, can we really quick hear from you your best tip for sales, your best sales tip.
Work with your customer, client, just helping her. See what you can do to just help her, and make suggestions based on your, professional training. People appreciate it. Be honest, be on time, do more than you're expected. That's what I like to do with my customers. Give, and then, everything kind of works its way out. I think the customer service is the number one thing. Put your customer first, and then work from there in terms of your business.
And that's something that I would like to say that Susan is really, really good at, is customer service. I think you guys would probably agree. She always has tons of ideas on how she can service them better, whether it's sending like a personal letter. Of course, she's always doing phone calls. She's doing like different promotions. She's the one who came up with that fun Mary Kay cash promotion that we did, that a lot of consultants decided to just kind of do as well last June, which is honestly what I think really just pushed us over into 300,000 last year. Like, Susan, you have incredible ideas. You are so naturally talented at sales. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I have a lot of support at home, Mary, and he never stands in the way of what I'm doing. And he likes it. When I'm busy with Mary Kay, he's a lot nicer.
Oh, that's funny, Susan. I love that. Congratulations once again, Susan, our queen of sales. Okay, guys, I'm really excited. This is our last one, and then we're going to hear from Pat, and I will definitely introduce you to her. I know a lot of you have heard of her, or maybe have heard from her before, but some of you have not. So I'm going to introduce her as well. But we have one more thing that I want to recognize, and that's our Miss Go Give, because we cannot have an award without a Miss Go Give. This is somebody who
Can read through the back of the paper.
You can? Can you really? Are you serious?
She's
That little. Can you guys read through this? Can you see who it is?
No.
This is a thick piece of paper.
No,
I
I
can't.
What the heck? Yeah. Jeez, man. Okay, well, I guess since she knows and she read it, Bridget can just come on up. What the heck, Bridget? Okay.
I'm gonna start crying. I can't cry. It's going.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but I do want to say that does make my job a little bit easier because we have little blurbs on here from those who nominated her. So it makes it easy.
Wait, where's the tissue?
I know. Where are they? Usually there's some. Oh, right there, back there, if you need them. So I will read it. I don't have to replace her name now because she can read through cardstock. So she has really good.
It's another talent I have.
Bridget has really good eyes. So I know that about her. No, but really, Bridget lifts everyone's spirits just by entering the room. Her energy energizes everyone. She is always the first to lend a helping hand. Her smile and laugh help everyone feel happier. Bridget spreads sunshine wherever she goes. She gives of herself in so many ways. Bridget exemplifies what Mary Kay envisioned for this most prestigious award. For that, I nominate Bridget Gray as Legacy Unit Miss Go Give 2020. Yeah. And then another one, there were lots of nominations, but I just put two of the little blurbs on here. The other one, Bridget is a living example of what the Go Give spirit entails. She cares about others more than she does herself. She serves those around her naturally and abundantly. She's someone who I admire because of the sincerity in which she works her business. I know that because of who she is able to accomplish everything she wants in this business. You are amazing, Bridget.
Even the dog was applauding you, Bridget.
Yeah. Right?
Cheers for you.
Okay, so these are the prizes that she got as well. I want to show you guys. This ring box is what I got my fabulous 50s ring in, I think.
Whoa.
I know, fancy,
Is
right?
the ring in there? No.
So this is our Miss Go Give pin. So Bridget can put this on her pin. You guys can check it out.
We would like to see it.
Yes, yes.
Very pretty.
And then she also got the one, this is the one for the company that you can put on your bracelet. And it says Unit Miss Go Gift.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
Congratulations, Bridget. I want to give you a hug so much. Congratulations. But seriously, I am just so proud. You guys probably saw a theme with lots of women who are just like earning lots and lots of things, which is amazing. But I'm just super proud of Bridget, just because she's like seriously on a roll in her business. But not only that, she also obviously, as our Miss Go Gift, she's doing it like seriously the Mary Kay way. So I'm super, super proud of you.
Thank you so
Love you,
much.
Bridget. You're so
Thank you.
welcome.
I love you all. I really miss you. I wish we were all here. Yeah, and we have food. Sorry, Nola. Oh, I'm taking Angela's present.
Yay! Okay, huge shout out again to all of our winners. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that this is kind of like a weird awards night and it's definitely non-traditional, but still had a lot of amazing accomplishments. So huge shout out to everybody. And once again, seminar is going to be next week. We'll get out the more details for anybody who wants to come to the studio, because like you heard, there may be a limo involved. There may be lots of things. There may be food. Who knows what will happen with our unit. You never know.
Hey, Kara, this limo that I'm checking out, they
Yeah.
fill it with all kinds of goodies like cookies and brownies, and they'll decorate whatever theme you want, and it'll be covered in pink streamers and
Stuff for
Yum.
pregnant ladies, all the cookies.
yes, all the cookies for everyone. So y'all let me know who's in. I'm booking it.
Yeah, seriously. So
I heard that Angela got the thunder from down under, whatever. I don't know what that is, but
are you serious?
I heard
What?
I don't know.
Suzanne, you are out of control.
Wait, is that for real? Are you serious?
Yes, it
Angela,
is
are you
for real,
doing
but
that?
she's not doing it.
Oh, goodness.
Angela, what?
Yeah, I was going to say, Angela seems really quiet all of a sudden.
I can't give away all the secrets.
I thought you were picking me up.
Well, yeah,
Mom wants a ride.
that's the pre-party, Suzanne.
Oh.
Sounds like you're not invited to the pre-party. Sorry. I'm not either. It's
I
okay.
can bring you as my guest.
Oh my goodness. You
Oh my
crack
gosh.
me up.
Okay. But really, if you guys do want to attend here, it sounds like there's going to be lots of, there might be, Bridget mentioned there might be some like catering from Panera, might do the limo, lots of other fun things. But please, please, please let us know if you want to be included in those plans so that we can make sure that everyone who wants to is totally, totally included. Okay. Yay. Now I'm really excited. We're going to hear from Pat. So I'm going to introduce her, give a few highlights of her accolades because there are many. So a little bit about Pat, and then we're going to hear from her. And once again, make sure you have like your notes out. I'm going to move us to the front so you can see kind of who's here, Pat. So you can also see who's at the studio, who you're talking to. And then she also said like she's also available for questions, which I think is an incredible opportunity to ask somebody who very much knows what she's doing, like whatever is on your mind. But Pat was born and raised in Ohio, where she married her husband, Tim, in January 1971. During the last 15 years of Tim's 20-year Air Force career, they moved 12 times before settling in Dallas, Texas. And I know one of the things that Pat is really, really good at training with is like just how to get your business started in like tons of different locations and like traveling to those places and like getting, essentially building a national area and like in tons of areas all over the country. So she's incredibly good at that. Then she was located in Austin, Texas. They recently just built a home, which is exciting because they used to have a very, very large home. So this is the right size home in Texas. Near their daughters, they have two daughters, Jessica, who's a doctor and attorney, who is married and has two children. And then Reagan, who some of you may or may not have met. She's a senior sales director, also in Texas, who is married and has two boys. Pat became a consultant in March 1973. She debuted as a director in August 1975 and a national sales director in July 1990. There are so many things to talk about that she accomplished in her Mary Kay business, but a few things that I highlighted on here. She was recognized 6 times in the Circle of Achievement and 5 times in the Circle of Excellence. So the difference between those two is Circle of Excellence means that you get the trip, which is like super, super prestigious, super, super big deal. And Pat really, really loves traveling. I know that Mom does too, and they've traveled together a lot of times. But a few of the places that she has traveled to, and get ready, get ready for this list. She's been to, with Mary Kay, she's been to Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, mainland China, Hong Kong, all the Hawaiian Islands, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Bermuda, Mexico, England, Scotland, Ireland, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Estonia, Russia, Hungary, Czech Republic, Chile, Argentina, cruises to French Polynesia, British Isles, Mediterranean, Baltic, Adriatic, and Aegean Seas.
Whoa.
That took like 10 breaths for me to say.
Please, practice.
Like, I know, right? But what I think is really cool, if you love to travel, like honestly, Mary Kay is a really great way to do it. And especially because, hello, it's like all expenses paid and they get treated insanely well. I know that for sure. Pat's highest monthly commission check was $67,000. $67,730.67. She has earned almost $12 million during her Mary
That's 1
Kay
month.
career in the time, 1 month.
Okay, I just wanted to.
67,730.
What?
Yeah, and what's cool about that too for our new consultants is when we kind of like, when you hear from nationals, directors, all that stuff, that's like her monthly check from the company. So that's her commission on like her team and her team building. She also makes separate money on like her sales. So that is just the money. The $67,730 is commission from team building, which is awesome. The love checks, yes.
Has a lot of.
Yes, yes, yes. Just a few more quick highlights and then we want to hear from her. Some of the things that she says that she is most honored by in her career is being selected as Seminar's Miss Go Give in January 1989. That's a huge, 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 huge deal. Mary Kay also sent her to Australia and New Zealand in 1994 to teach their consultants and directors, and to Mexico in 2008 to mentor European NSDs. And I know that like if you are selected to go to another country to train, like that's a huge, huge honor, especially if you're training like national sales directors. You're training the best of the best all over the world. She's also selected as a charter member of the NSD Marketing Advisory Board and the Mary Kay Foundation Advisory Board, which is also a huge honor. She was in the inner circle 11 times. And now we're going to hear from Pat Danforth.
Yay! Oh, Kara, I love seeing you. You look darling in your unit. And seeing Suzanne. And Suzanne and Mike are like our BFFs in Mary Kay. I assume you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, because I can't tell. This whole Zoom thing, I mean, y'all, I'm 72. We didn't even have, when I signed my agreement, we didn't even have answer machines for our phones. You know, I mean, really. You know, Suzanne and I remember the days as nationals when we didn't have internet. I know that is beyond most of your comprehension. So, you know, we kind of been there, done that, have the t-shirt. But has it been worth it? I will say absolutely, in so many boundless ways. And congratulations to the seminar winners who've been announced tonight, and know that all of you can be in those positions next year. And then, you know, yeah, it's like there's, I don't know, Suzanne, how many times were you #1 unit in your seminar?
Twice. And we were #2 twice as well. So
Yeah.
2 years in a row we were #2. That was great. But then the next 2 we were #1, and then we became a national area after that.
And then how many times did you do $1 million? 4. Okay. So, hey, gang, our unit never did $1 million, but my income, counting my retirement, is almost $12 million. So,
Wow.
you know, you don't have to be #1. You just have to keep with it. Consistency is the whole thing. And those of you, Bridget and Susan, who are 4-quarter star consultants, you know, I would just challenge each of you for your sake to be a star consultant every quarter. I mean, that's, you know, like that's consistency, and consistency builds. And I think Kara said something about the fact that, you know, my first 15 years in Mary Kay, we moved 12 times. Tim was an Air Force pilot. Our final assignment in the Air Force was in Layton, Utah. He was the commander of the F-16, one of the 3 F-16 squadrons there. And then when he retired in 1988, yes, we are really old, he took a job flying for Delta Airlines, and we moved to Dallas area, and he flew there for 16 years. So, you know, if I were to tell you all the places we lived, it has really been remarkable. What an experience. I am so glad that I fell into Mary Kay. It is not something that I would have been looking for. I didn't wear makeup. I had very oily, blemish-prone skin. I didn't have any money. I wish you could see my whole, you know, desk area over me, because I mean, I actually have the $4 Tupperware celery container. If you know, those green rectangular jobs, they were $4 back then. I still have it because it's the reason I'm in Mary Kay. Because, you know, we kind of had a discussion over the fact that I purchased a $4 Tupperware celery container in March 1973 without asking Tim if we had the money for it, which didn't. So that very week, he put me on an allowance, $20 a month. And yes, and I took my $20 in my little jeans pocket and went next door to a Mary Kay party. And I bought the $18 5-step skincare program. $18 for the 5-step, which is like basically the miracle set now, or the basic skincare. And I signed an agreement, and I wrote, not a hot check, a lukewarm check, because back then we didn't have, you know, electronic banking. I don't think we had electricity. You know, that I knew that Tim's Air Force pay would get to the bank before my check did. So I wrote, you know, essentially a lukewarm check, and got started. And he was at school that day, and we were then in Montgomery, Alabama, living in what we called back then a trailer park. It's, you know, now a mobile home park. And the nickname was Muddy Meadows, and it was a sea of red mud. But I went next door, plunked down my $20 and owed like $1.50 extra in, because I bought the Blush Rouge, which was $1.50 back then, and started a career, and went to it was a Monday, and I went to my very first Mary Kay event that night in Montgomery, Alabama. And I was the one at the Mary Kay party that said, "Pink Cadillac, you've got to be kidding me. I wouldn't cut dead in a pink Cadillac." I didn't have a car, a car at all. But I was going to turn up my nose to a pink Cadillac. So at the end, the consultant was interesting. She was another Air Force wife. And I said, "This is interesting. How did you get started?" And 3 hours later, I'm signing an agreement and writing Tim a note saying, "I'm at a Mary Kay meeting. I'll be home around 10. I'm at the Holiday Inn." And that was the first time I saw a pink Cadillac, because there was a director with one visiting that night. So I have to say to you that Tim has been supportive from day one. He was like, "You know, if this makes you happy," and he had the first 2 questions that every guy asks: what is this going to cost me? And how long is this going to last? Because I hadn't stuck with anything at all. I had stuck with him because I didn't have a car, you know, so I couldn't leave. Anyway, bless his heart, he's always been supportive, but then I haven't really given him an option, because I supported, you know, we were married 17 years while he was in his 20 years Air Force. And he said, "Hey, we're moving, you know, 2 months from now." And I'm like, "Okay, where?" You know, and I just supported him. But my personality should never have succeeded in Mary Kay. I'm really an introvert. I hate leaving my house. I hate it. I would rather stay home and comb the fringe on my Oriental rugs. Now, mind you, if I hadn't left the house, I wouldn't have any Oriental rugs. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. I'd rather do the dishes, but I could, as I grew in Mary Kay, I could walk past, some of you are gonna die when I say this, I could walk past a counter full of every dish that we owned and it was dirty and go to the phone, because this was about my family. My family could wait for me to wash the dishes. Or here's a concept, wash them yourself. You know, I mean, it's just like, this was all about my family and what could I do for them? I tend to have, you know, an obsessive compulsive personality. Suzanne, I'm sure, could tell a ton of stories on me, as could Mike. But I kept working. I just didn't even consider not. I've got this great saying, haven't hung this yet. The wayside of business is filled with brilliant men who started out with a spurt and lacked the stamina to finish. Their places were taken by the patient and unshowy plodders who never knew when to quit. I was always a plodder. I was never the superstar. I am the workhorse. I am not the show horse. But you know what? You keep working, you get to be a show horse too. I mean, I got so many diamonds, it's ridiculous, and I don't even wear jewelry. So, you know, if jewelry doesn't motivate you, which it didn't motivate me, what motivated me was the recognition for a job well done. The moving and the starting over. Again, I did this for my family. What else could I do? My degree's in home economics education. I think they call it applied consumer sciences or something now, which is really stupid. Got to make it sound fancy. But there's no way I could have taught school. We moved too much. For example, Reagan, our daughter, and I'm going to tell their ages because they won't probably ever hear this. Reagan is 42. She lived in 5 states and Germany before she turned 1. Okay, you get the picture? Jessica lived in 10 states before she finished 10th grade at 16, and at 16 went off to college. Now she is now a doctor and an attorney. Reagan is a senior director, Cadillac driver, you know, she loves her business. But I will quote I love movies. So I'll quote something from one of my favorites, and that is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy and Steve Martin. If you've never seen it, rent it, it's old. But John Candy, who was the wise buffoon kind of guy, and he said, you know, basically my philosophy is love your family like your job. And that is what it's all about. I mean, I gotta tell you, to be able to do the things that Tim and I have done with our daughters, they have been all over the world with us, sometimes with the grandchildren. We love that aspect of it, the freedom. Many years ago, we still lived in Dallas. We live in Austin now, but we still lived in Dallas. Tim was flying for Delta, and at the time he was in Canada on a hill skiing trip, which he did every year for 15 years. He's an extraordinary skier. And you know, he's off in Canada hill skiing, and the girls and I are home, and it's spring break, and I'm sitting in my office in the Dallas area, and I'm thinking, he's in Canada, and we're sitting here. You know, we need to do something. And I went to the bottom of the stairs. Their rooms were on the 2nd floor, and I yelled up, pack a bag, we're going to Hawaii tomorrow. And we did. Because you know what? We could. Because I worked when I could. When I could not work, I released it, you know, in the middle of a move, whatever, but I really worked when I could. And that, I think that would be one of my huge messages to you, is work when you can, because you never know when you will not be able to. It's either gonna be a new baby, Kara, or it's gonna be a child's wedding. I mean, we have given our daughters the weddings of my dreams. I mean, wow, you know, they've been amazing. Jessica had an amazing wedding in Dallas, and her wedding reception was at the Mary Kay building. Spectacular. And then Reagan had the choice, you know, a few years later of, okay, you can have a wedding like your sister's, or we'll buy you a house. Which would you like? And she chose the wedding. Again, a wedding of my dreams, because my wedding wasn't that much of a wedding of my dreams. He came back from Vietnam, and we got married so that we could moved to Bang Spring, Texas, with his next assignment, and left Ohio. I mean, I'd never even been. I couldn't have told you what states we were going to drive through. So, you know, all the places you'll go. And I don't know if you can see in my shelf behind me, I've got the book, Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go, because that has been the theme. And this is true for you. It may not be trips around the world. I mean, Tim and I are just amazingly encouraged by traveling, especially with our BFFs, Suzanne and Mike. You know, we went to Chile on our own. What an experience. We had an earthquake while we were there. Okay, another story, another time. But what, Suzanne? Can't hear you.
We had two earthquakes while we were there. Two.
Yeah, well, true.
One in the middle of the night, and then one when we were having hot chocolate.
Oh, the hot chocolate earthquake. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, can I tell them where we're going next?
Sure.
Okay. This week, we booked and finalized a trip for the four of us, a cruise to French Polynesia, which we've done that before with Mary Kay, but this includes Fiji. This is not just Tahiti, Bora Bora, Moorea, Raiatea, those boring places. We're also going to Fiji, and I've never been to Fiji, so I'm really jazzed, especially going with our BFFs. It's going to be really fun.
Very excited.
But you know what? To have the freedom
Exactly.
to choose that type of thing.
The time to go too, right?
The time to go. I mean, and I don't know what your circumstances are. Some of you are young, you're not married yet. You're married, you don't have kids. Some of you are married with kids. Some of you, your kids are gone. Some of you, your kids are back again. Some of you have grandchildren. It's just the freedom and the flexibility to be where you want to be when you want to be there. We chose to live in Austin because both of our daughters ended up here through very different stories, but they both ended up here. And so now we're here with our 4 grandchildren. I mean, we don't hold a candle to Suzanne and Mike with, what is this? New baby's going to be number 13 grandchild. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. But to have that freedom, we've got our granddaughter, Madison, who's 19, coming over and spending the next 2 nights starting tomorrow. And then I think her brother, who is 14, is coming over for the weekend. And just to have that kind of freedom, I'm a control person. I have an issue with control. Suzanne, be quiet. Have to be in control. Now, I don't really have to control you, but I have to control my life, my situation. And I've learned a lot about myself. I mean, my gosh, 1973, I signed my agreement. What is that, 47 years? Oh my gosh. Obviously, I've learned a lot, but I know that, and something I'd recommend for you is to do the Gallup Poll Strengths Finder exam, test, whatever. If you just go strengths, it is plural, Strengths Finder, and it's Gallup, Gallup, Gallup Poll. I think it's $20. And it's this test that if you're like a very dominant person like moi, you're reading these questions, you're doing like 60 answers in 20 minutes, and you're thinking, these are the dumbest questions I've ever seen in my life. I actually said that out loud as I was doing it. And man, does it peg you. It gives you what your strengths are. And my number 1 strength is achievement. My second strength is communication. Now, my husband is not really a talker until he gets started, and then he doesn't stop. Uh-oh, I hear the dog. Susan, don't feel bad. I am waiting for my cats to come tearing through here because this is my office, but it's also the cat's room because over there is the cat's bathroom. So I've got to leave that door ajar, and I've got to leave this door ajar, and I think Tim must have them locked in his office with him. Life is so interesting. You do what you have to do when you have to do it. Well, my husband is not a communicator. He doesn't talk. He wouldn't mind if I never talked. I mean, that would be just fine with him. And that, I didn't know that for many, many years. Well, it'll be 50 years in January that we will have been married. 50 years. Oh my gosh, how did we get so old? But I'm a communicator. I have to talk to people. I mean, doing this Zoom, Kara, thank you so much for inviting me, because getting to see all of you and connecting is something that's really fun for me. So, you know, I really do love that. But I would recommend taking, you know, we started out years ago with just the DISC program, the dominant, influencing, steady, conscientious. And we just thought we were somebody when we knew what everybody was with their DISC. And now there are so many other ways that we can look at. Love languages. Suzanne does a fabulous class on love languages and just learning how to communicate with different people. But, you know, talk about other places you'll go. And it all starts with that starter kit, which incidentally mine is right up there. My very first 1973 starter kit is in the shelf above my desk. Yes, I kept it. All those moves, I kept all that stuff. I have every pink Cadillac key, all 17 of them. I have, oh, you name it, just ask Tim. I have the Mary Kay Barbie doll. I don't know if y'all have even seen that. It was a Star Consultant Prize.
Yeah.
Some of you remember that?
Yeah.
And it's, okay, I gotta show you this. The Mary Kay Barbie doll. She is the first and only Barbie ever made that has stockings on. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I collect. I collect friends, I collect memories, I collect trips. We collect pictures of trips. Oh my gosh, we have, and we're partway through it, but not far. We probably have another 100 pictures to hang. I mean, talking framed pictures of watercolors and prints and so forth of places that we've been. And we're good at hanging pictures, but this is getting ridiculous. So I collect that kind of thing. I collect the memories. I have a really good memory. I mean, I can remember the first time that I met Suzanne. I don't remember what year it was, but I was in Denver. I was a national. I was in Denver doing a program, and Suzanne was a red jacket.
Yeah.
And I remember finishing the program, and there were probably 150, 200 people in the room. And I'm standing on the stage, and I'm getting ready to leave, and I think I got off the stage, and here is this gorgeous, tall, long blonde hair and her red jacket coming toward me. I remember that. That was, what year was that, Suzanne, when you would have been a red jacket?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say like 1980 maybe.
Well, I was a national.
Okay. Yeah, and you debuted what year?
90. So maybe I wasn't a national yet. I don't know.
think you were, because I don't think you were national, because I debuted as a director in 81.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was earlier than that. And you strolled in with this scarf flowing. You used to wear a scarf on your shoulder, and that was flowing, and you had on this gorgeous suit. And I knew, when the first I saw you, I knew that, you know, when you got it in this business or any business, you got to be a copycat, but you got to copy the right cat. And I knew you were.
That's good. Copy the right cat. Amen. Well, so yeah, I just have a really amazing memory. And I do remember all those things. And I know we want to do, if you want to, some questions and answers. And I will tell you right now, I will answer anything. I'm 72. I'm about shrunken to 5'6". I weigh 149.6 pounds, which is what I weighed when I delivered both of my daughters.
Oh.
Now that's super depressing. You know, I tell people I weigh the same thing I weighed when I was 25. Yeah, the day I delivered Jessica. So, you know, but good news, I haven't gained the COVID-15. I've actually lost the 11. So, hey, I'm proud. But I'll answer anything. I will answer anything to the best of my ability. I can only give you my opinion. I don't know the answer to everything, but I can tell you what I think. Oh, and that is, incidentally, in the background, that is my beauty coat. 1987, the very first beauty coat ever. We happened to be stationed at Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. And if you will put on that beauty coat that you have, and if you don't have one, get one, every single day. I don't know, are they black now, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so they go with everything. Get yourself a black skirt. One of my favorite skirts ever was from Target. I mean, this doesn't have to be Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom. This is, you know, people say, is that your uniform? You go, yeah, it is.
Yes.
And
So-
it makes life easy. So, okay, questions?
So let's start with, just to make it a little bit easier, because we got people in the studio and on Zoom. Let's start with people on Zoom with your questions, and then we'll turn it over to the studio just for easier, so nobody's like talking over each other. So anybody on Zoom have questions for Pat? She just told us our weight, so she will tell us anything.
Pat, I've got a question. Can I jump in and give my question, and then I won't ask any more, maybe. So Pat, I would really love to know, like, basic stuff of how you got good at booking. How did you get good at this business? Because you didn't start out good. I know I didn't start out good. How did you get good at it? And it's two parts. The second part is, when did you start to love what you were doing?
Well, I think I maybe didn't love, but I really liked what I was doing from the beginning because I was independent. Remember, I got to be the boss. And so I was independent. So I liked that. I did not like having people say no. But, you know, the reason I'm sitting in this chair, still in retirement, making about $23,000 a month, is that I've heard the word now more than, you know, anybody but Suzanne. So, but I got used to that. I loved the people. I loved the company. I mean, when I first heard, put your faith first, your family second, and your business third, the cynic in me, the Yankee, said, you gotta be kidding. When are they gonna, you know, really tell us the truth? And as I went to Mary Kay things, including that first seminar that I went to with Tim in 1973, and I heard the women at the top say the same thing, and they were very genuine, and all along that has really struck me. So I loved that about it. I loved the freedom. I loved the fact that, yeah, I mean, my goal starting out was making $50 a month. Now, you know, I mean, that's like every 30 minutes. But back then, $50 was 2.5 times my allowance, remember? So, you know, I loved the opportunity. I still have the first piece of jewelry I ever earned. It's a little costume jewelry, pearl bird's nest ring. It's up in the top of my cupboard here. But again, I've earned, as Suzanne has, thousands of dollars worth of diamonds, and they're all in the safe. But what I remember is all the things we've done with our family. That's what I remember. So I don't know, as far as when I first realized I loved the business, I think I loved it from the beginning. And I was not good at booking in the beginning. And I gotta tell you, these people that make phone calls and talk to people cold, I'd rather eat a worm. I will, you know, I'll walk up and talk to somebody in the post office. Now, I don't do it in the grocery stores or the department stores or Target or whatever, because they sell cosmetics and they really don't appreciate you doing that. But if you're in the post office or the pet store or whatever, just talk to people. And I got good at that, even though I wasn't in the beginning. I would get my merds waxed, and you know, I would do anything to avoid talking. I'd follow a woman around the shopping center. We didn't even have malls back then. We had shopping centers. And I'd follow her around. Today, I'd be called a stalker. And back then, I was just trying to get my nerve up to talk to her. So, you know, but I kept on. I just kept on. That's all I did. And now, I mean, I could walk up to anybody and talk to them about Mary Kay and not take it personally if they were not interested. I think a cute little acronym is Q-tip, quit taking it personally.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I made a little, I guess it was a 3x5 card one year for all of the directors and I had a Q-tip stuck on there with a little lips sticker or something. And it said the Q-tip principle, QTIP, quit taking it personally, because that's the key. This is not personal. I mean, you may look like her husband's new girlfriend, and that's personal. But other than that, it's not personal. It really isn't. So, oh well. Okay, next.
I have a question. So lots of interesting things that first of all, it's an honor to have you with us, Pat. I'm so glad we got to hear from you. But
Angela?
It was so interesting listening to your story from beginning to end, because things that I noted were that you were an introvert, but then one of your top two things were achievement and communication. Communication, you love people and you love talking to people. That maybe doesn't go hand in hand with being an introvert and not wanting to leave your house. So that's an interesting combination, but it sounds like that's a skill you really developed in your Mary Kay journey that made that thrive. And my question is, I was trying to think of questions earlier today that I've had throughout my Mary Kay journey that I think would apply to everyone. And one is about overcoming obstacles. So moving 12 times in 15 years, I know that's challenging. Not quitting when you have to PCS and say, well, I can't do this right now. So I'm sure, and then being in the inner circle 11 times, I think it was, so many times in your career, it had to be easier to quit or to just stand still and accept maybe this is as far as I need to go in my career. I already have so much more than I have before. What kept you going? What motivated you to keep reaching for the next step and not accept that this is good enough?
Okay, first I have a question for you, Angela. Why do you know what PCS is?
Well, because my sister is married to a Marine, and he is at 20 years, and they have moved about that many times in 20 years.
Yeah.
And actually, they were supposed to move this summer from Hawaii to Rhode Island, and it ended up that he moved and the family stayed, and that was very last minute after the first shipment had already gone out. And I hear her stories all the time. And what I also hear from her is a lot of anxiety, and I can't do something else because this is such a full-time job supporting him that I can't possibly take on something else.
That's what she's telling herself. Have her call me.
I will.
I'm really serious. Kara's got my phone number. Have her call me, because you know, I knew people through the many years that said, oh, I can't do this because I have to support my husband. Baloney. I supported Tim. Tim made higher ranks twice early. I mean, he did amazing in the Air Force. And I was back in the day when the little woman didn't work. I mean, I barely got in the Air Force with him past the era where they wore white gloves and took their calling card to the officers club and left it in a silver tray. So, you know, I was an anomaly. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, PCS is permanent change of station. And it means only that you get to take your furniture with you, hence the first shipment going out from Hawaii already, doesn't mean how long you're going to stay. So, you know, 12 moves in 15 years, and I'm sure that your sister is. Yeah, I think she needs to call me, because it's time for her to do Mary Kay, where she can support her husband and do something that's going to give him freedom. Tim retired from the Air Force in 1988 after 20 years. He flew for Delta for 16 years and retired in 2004, 3 years after 9/11. And it had gotten to the point where the pilots were having to give up their nail clippers going through security because of, you know, I mean, oh my God, who do you want to have nail clippers on the airplane if not the pilots, you know? And it just got hard to deal with it. And because of my business, not only did I give him the opportunity to have a choice to do something or nothing after the Air Force, but I gave him the choice to retire early from Delta because of what I had done with his support for all those years. And if nothing else, I think that's, you know, if you're married, if you're not, fine. You know, if you're married, you have to answer to someone. If you're not, you don't. And I think it's just good to know that this whole thing gives you options. I mean, I cringe when I go and hear a director or a national or whoever on the stage saying, this is going to change your life. Maybe you don't want your life changed. Everyone wants options, and this is going to give you options. Work with it. It's going to give you options. So I don't know. Did that answer that at all?
That did, and I think the second part was, I think that sometimes we work so hard to get out of our comfort zone, and then we find ourselves in another one. So when there's obstacles and you realize, well, I've hit my goal. I'm where I'm at. This is comfortable. And it's so hard to keep working towards the next thing. Maybe it's okay to stay right here. And I think also a lot of times we hear from national sales directors and we picture ourselves in that position, and we hear the stories of how you're just like us and everyone started exactly the same way. And then we catch a dream, and then you go back to reality, and the self-talk starts saying, okay, it's possible, but is that level really meant for me? Maybe, you know, like you can't see past the next step. Maybe you can't see past director. Maybe you can't see past what comes after, and you stay there. So I'm sure you had moments where you were tempted to settle with where you were, because it was nice. It wasn't bad.
No, it
But
wasn't.
you went further.
That is such a profound thought, Angela. And there were many times throughout the years that I thought, you know, this is hard. This is hard. I remember when Reagan, my daughter, who's 42 now, signed her agreement when she was 18, went off to college, I think sold 2 lip glosses in 4 years. And about a year after that, yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I see your face. After that, she graduated from college and went to work in the real world because she wanted to be in politics and government and blah, 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 blah. Thank God she's not. And she came home for seminar in 2002 because I had gone through cancer in 96, 97. And after that, I had shingles. I mean, you get all this stuff. And in 2002, I woke up one morning about 10 days before seminar and I had Bell's palsy. And the left half of my face was paralyzed, and which is a whole other story. But she came to seminar to help Tim with me. I mean, you lose everything on that side of your face, and including your balance. You lose your hearing, you lose the whole balance thing. So she came to help get me through seminar. And for the first time, and she had been to seminars before. She was, well, let's see, 2002, she was born in 78, so was she 24 or something like that. And she sat there, and it went from being her mother's company to all these young women on stage. She saw people her age, you know, people like Kara is now, people like the people that you're gonna be talking to. And sometimes they think it's like a company for older women, and it is, it's great, but it's for anybody that's 18. So she decided she was gonna do this. And after seminar, she didn't tell me this, of course, but after seminar, we were lying on rafts in the pool, and you know how you lie on your raft and you hold onto her raft and she holds onto your raft and you're just floating around talking. And she said, I think that I want to be a director. I almost fell off my raft. Because, you know, this is the girl that sold 2 lip glosses through 4 years of college. And I remember looking at her saying, this will be the hardest thing you have ever done. This will be harder than your double degree in college. This This is hard. And many years later, the movie A League of Its Own, A League of Their Own, about the women's baseball league, Tom Hanks. You guys, you got to watch this movie. I love movies, as you can tell.
No crying in baseball.
What? Oh, no crying in baseball. And when the one woman said to him, it just got too hard. And Tom Hanks says, of course it's hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It's the hard that makes it great. And that's what this is. It's the hard that makes it great. This is not easy. Angela, you know that. All of you know that. It's not easy, but I will tell you it is worth it. It's worth it for your personal growth. It's worth it for your relationship growth. It's worth it for the options that it gives you and your family. I profile as a serious safety and security person. So you can imagine what times like this would do to me if I hadn't been raised my adult life in Mary Kay. You know, being so safety and security oriented, but I'm fine. And I have to credit Mary Kay with that personal growth.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pat. That was awesome. And then anybody at the studio, there might be people on Zoom too, but I want to give people at the studio a second. Do any of you guys have any questions for Pat? Any burning questions?
How did you build your business with traveling so much?
With moving?
Yes.
Well, and of course this was, you know, back in the day, no internet, no 800 phone numbers, none of that stuff. No, the preferred customer program, none of that, or whatever you call it now, direct support. I don't know what it's called now. We didn't have any of that. So when I moved, I just started again. I talked to the ladies in the post office, and I talked to the women when I, you know, took the kids to gymnastics or whatever, and I talked to neighbors, and I spread out. I think, you know, Mary Kay always said that everyone has a sign on them that says, make me feel important. I want to add a second sign to that, and that is make me feel comfortable. And a third sign is what's in this for me. And I would make people feel important by looking them in the eye, remembering their name, you know, asking them questions about themselves, not just talking about what I had to offer, but getting to know them. And feeling comfortable, I would say, you know, have some friends and there's no obligation. You don't have to buy a thing. I can't tell you how many times I have said, there's no obligation. You don't have to buy a thing. And making them feel, of course, you can't make anybody anything. You can make them feel important. You can make them feel comfortable, but you can do what you can to entice that. And then that third sign, what's in this for me? And I got real creative about what's in this for them. For one thing, I loved, because I never wanted to leave my house, I loved to do things in my home. And because I had 2 little girls, which were reasonably manageable. I mean, it's different if you got a lot of kids, if you got boys, if you got wild kids. Of course, Reagan was a little bit of wild hair. Jessica was very quiet. You could have taken her to the White House and turned her loose when she was 4. Reagan, you wouldn't have taken to a NASCAR race. But you know, they were great kids. So I did do a lot at home. I did a lot, you know, during the day or in the evenings when, you know, either they weren't there, whatever. And I would say, you know, come over. I've got everything laid out so you can see it. Now, there were times when it was on a card table with a sheet over it. This was not fancy. Keep in mind how many times I moved. Can you imagine how many places I worked from? And I'd say, come on over to my house. You'll get to see everything. You can try whatever you want. And I'll give you a lip gloss. I mean, okay, right now, for example, your lip glosses, if I understand right, are changing. So what are you going to do with all the classic? Don't call them discontinued. Don't call them old. Nobody wants discontinued or old. Classic is good. And I'd say, I have a basket of lip glosses that you can choose from, because I didn't want them to, you know, look in their lookbook and pick something that was new. I wanted them to pick a classic. And if you have a friend come with you, she gets to choose a lip gloss too.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and now here's another idea that I would give them. Think about this. Think about that outfit that you're not really sure what colors to wear with it. You know, we're gonna do skincare, but we're gonna take a few minutes on color too. So wear something that you're really challenged by. Is it your uniform that you wear to work every day? Or is it an outfit that you just got, or one that's hanging in your closet and you just don't quite know what to do with it? And then we would pick a look to go with it. When you get a woman thinking about what she's gonna wear to your house, you've got her. She's coming. You know, it's the what's in it for me. And of course, to the hostess, I would say, you will get, and I mean, I hardly ever told them what they were gonna get. I would just say, you're gonna get, you know, products from me for having these people join you.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Are there, questions from anybody on Zoom? Going back to Zoom, do you guys have any questions for Pat?
Hey, Pat, this one I always love, and that is, how important is having inventory? See, that was always the number one question, is building our unit, building our consultant success, was making sure they had enough inventory, that they didn't start with so little that they couldn't get a good start. So I know that's a huge question, and the success is definitely in how we've managed our business with inventory. I know
It is.
myself, for thousands of people I've coached, they sell more if they have more. Yeah.
Amen.
What's your thought on that?
Well, when we started, remember, I wrote a lukewarm check for just the starter kit. I didn't have any money to get started, but, and there were no credit cards. It wasn't just that Mary Kay didn't, there were no credit cards.
Yeah.
And Tim went to the credit union on base and borrowed a couple $100. And I started out with a product inventory, which in these days would be about a 600 wholesale order. And I remember even then thinking, oh, well, I only have 2 mascaras. I don't want to show anybody a mascara because then I'll only have one. I remember, I mean, like, it was a conscious, or at the very least a subconscious thought. And, you know, I got better at that. I got better at building my inventory, and that was 1973. In 1976, in January, they came out with a Star Consultant program. And we had moved to San Antonio and lived on base, and I did not have a customer base. And they, you know, it was like the 1800 wholesale level, the Sapphire Star. And I'll be darned if I was going to miss getting the recognition. I don't even know what the prize was, don't care. Wanted the recognition for being a Star Consultant from the very beginning. And so I bought my Star Consultant order getting a loan. And I didn't have, I mean, Mary Kay used to call it snow blindness on your date book because, you know, you're dealing with paper pages. Now, I'm sorry, it's still snow blindness. You have nothing on your calendar, and I had nothing. And I got that order and I put it away, and my office was a 5x7 walk-in closet in the hallway in our 900 square foot house on base, 215 Baseview Drive, San Antonio. And I put my stuff away, and I thought, oh, great, this is really great. So at Bible study that week, we had a couples Bible study, and I didn't announce it to the whole Bible study, but I said individually, Mary Kay has challenged me to hold 5 parties this month. That wasn't true. I made it up. You know, you're allowed to tell white lies. And I booked 3 of the gals for parties. And, you know, because I'm going to get a prize. Thank you so much. And there was no prize. And I only booked 3. And at the end of the month, they were like, did you get it done? I said, yes, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Well, those were my 3 parties that put me on the map. And so from starting out as the minimum Star Consultant level, the next quarter I did the Ruby Star Consultant level because I needed the product. There is nothing like tripping over the stuff to get you out the door. And I'm not saying go bankrupt. I'm not saying mortgage your house. I'm saying, you know, just have some faith. I just had faith in the company. I had amazing faith in the product. I love the product. I mean, you know, I'm 72 and I show it in a lot of ways, but last week I was at the doctor's office and this woman came out and she said, Pat, and she's oh, here comes the cats. Great. She's looking around the room looking for Pat. And I stood up and I said, this me. She was Pat Danforth. And I said, yeah, that's me. And I walked toward her and she said under her breath, I was looking for a 72-year-old woman. Hello, I can live on that for 6 months. You know, it's product. People say you look younger than you are, and I say we do. Number one, it's the product. Number two, it's the lifestyle. We're around younger people. You know, I mean, that keeps you younger. So, boy, I don't know where I was going with that, Suzanne. Did I even answer your question?
Yeah, I thought that was good. You know, really, I thought that was good. I had same situation, being a single parent when I first started, and they talked to us about having inventory on hand because people buy what they see, and if you have more, you'll sell more. Yes. And I remember that I did the same leap of faith, and I started with a Star Consultant order, which now would be about 3,600. At that time was 1,800, but it would be about 36. And I think it was one of the best decisions I ever made is start with inventory, because if you do, it'll keep you in the game and you'll sell so much more. And now we've got roll-ups, so people get to see the roll-ups and the eye buys it. The eye buys it every time. I think the hardest thing I've ever had to do is coach someone who didn't see that point, and they thought that they would just build their inventory when they had the opportunity to really get inventory, but they didn't. And that just makes the business so much harder.
Yes.
So much harder.
You can work smarter, you can work hard. Yeah. And I mean, there are so many ways. I've never met a woman who couldn't do what she wanted to do when she put her mind to it. And I think probably I borrowed my money from my mom. I mean, Air Force pilots don't make a lot of money. You know, it may look glamorous. You're looking at Top Gun. Well, that's kind of what my husband did, but he didn't make any money. It was a great job. We loved it. But I borrowed money from mom 3 or 4 or 5 times and always paid her back with the interest that she would have made had she left it in her savings account or wherever it was, so that I could borrow it again. Because every time we moved, you know, I kind of bankrupted myself. I bought a new carpet, like when we moved to the base 900 square foot base housing, I bought new carpet with the money from what I had sold before we moved, and I wanted product again. And, you know, I did what I needed to do to put the product on my shelves because I knew I'd sell more.
Yeah, so true. I know that every one of the people in the top 5 here that we're talking about, Angela, Joyce, Mary, Bridget, Susan, they all have solid inventories. And I really got to say that's one of the #1 things that I think will help make a consultant a success, help her with her time management because she won't be running all over the place to live in.
Amen.
And people buy so much more if you've got it on hand, and they'll send their friends to you because they know you've got it and they don't have to wait. Women don't wait. In fact, they hate to wait. So I agree. Yeah, I knew you struggled on that first point, but even with the struggle, you made a way. I know we don't want to monopolize this. Carrie, you've had a wonderful evening. Pat, I love hearing you. I always learn something new every time I listen to you. Every time.
Thanks.
I totally agree. Thank you so much for everything you shared, Pat. And I think that everybody probably took something away a little different. Like, I think everybody probably heard something that they needed to hear. So I want to hear, before we close really quick, from at least 3 of you, something that you needed to hear from Pat. Let's affirm her and let her know what we took away from her training tonight.
So Pat, I'd like to thank you for joining us and taking time out of your evening to be with us. It was really amazing what you've done with your business, and I think the fact that you did it for your family, for your girls, for your husband.
I'm sorry, Bridget, I can't understand that last 2 sentences.
What the reasoning behind why you did it, for your family, for your girls, for your husband, knowing that you would be able to give them that education that they wanted, or whatever their dreams were in the trips and stuff. That's amazing. But I really think the best thing I heard tonight was the Q-tip.
Yeah.
I had never heard that. I love it. It's just, you know, stop taking it personally. Just walk away. And it's so much easier when you can do that. I'm learning that it's not been easy because I'm a type of person that I take it personally. So I'm trying to just go like this real fast, you know, and say it's okay. It's not about me. Just everything. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Miss Pat. I like when you said, you know, as Mary Kay said, make me feel important. But then when you backed it up, make me also feel comfortable. I love that, along with the Q-tip.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you can tell probably from listening to me, I am a very dominant personality and a Yankee on top of it. But I think I was pretty good at helping people to feel comfortable with me so that they didn't feel like, oh my gosh, if we get together, I'm going to have to buy something. I'm going to have to sign something. You know, hold them with an open hand.
Yes.
That's huge.
Thank
And you look gorgeous tonight.
Thank you.
Your makeup looks fabulous.
I worked hard on it.
I did too. I haven't worn it a lot since March.
Same here.
Well, Pat, my name is Maggie, and two things I heard: love your family like your job, and work when you can. Those two resonated with me a lot because I've had some health challenges, and I have always worked when I can. So thank you.
Pays off.
I needed to hear it again.
Good. Glad to hear that. It does pay off.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much, Pat. We super appreciate you being on. I know that I learned a lot too, and I just love, what I took away was, I like the reminder of how many no's you got. Sometimes I think that we think that people who are really successful in any career, not just Mary Kay, but in any career, like, we just assume that they didn't go through the things that we did, like the disappointments or the doubts or whatever. And I think it's really comforting to know that, like, you can go through those things, you can still be successful. So I super appreciate that reminder. I know.
Well, Kara, you know what is interesting about the young women like you and Reagan, our daughter, people assume that since you are the daughter of a national sales director, this is easier for you. The only thing that's easier about it is that you know that it works. You're not doubting it, questioning it, wasting energy on wondering if this is for real. You know that it works. It's just a matter of working it into your life. And you know that you have the freedom to do that too.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. And that's just such a great reminder to hear that, Pat. We super appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Pat. Everybody, let's give Pat a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's any last words that anybody would like to share, that's great. Any last things you learned from Pat, that's awesome. And then we'll just wrap it up. And we'll see you next week, of course, once again, at seminar. So if you are planning on being at the studio, please let us know so we can work you into all the limo or catering plans, all the fun things that are going on, whatever they end up being. So let us know, please, or let me know, and then we can kind of figure out what's going on from there. But any last words that you guys want to share?
Just thank you so much. I was excited.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. This is Joyce. Thank you.
What a beautiful unit you have. Oh my gosh.
Right, I agree.
You can just see the heart.
We're pretty special. We're kind of the best. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night. Don't forget, seminar is next week. Mama's holding up a sign that you can only see the top of. It says the best of. The best are. A little up, Mom. A little up.
A little up, a little up.
Oh, the best of the best are here.
Oh, I love it.
It was revealed to us line by line, precept upon precept. All right, guys. Well, everybody, have a wonderful night. Oh, Joyce, do you have something you want to?
Yeah. Can Pat send that to us, the plaque that she held up?
Oh yeah. I'll send it to Kara.
Perfect.
I think I already have it typed out. But I mean, it's
Okay.
been my mantra, the plotters. Yeah, it's been it.
Perfect. Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll send it to everybody. I'll post it on Facebook and our Voxer group, all the good stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
Love you too.
Night.
Good
See
night.
you
Good night.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Time to go to bed.
soon.